Blessings to you and your family. So apparently, based on report, elected officials in Fairhope, Alabama signed a document approving for the integration of illegal migrants from different parts of the world into their community without discussing the issue with the people living in those communities, the taxpayers. Well, people are not happy about it, and God bless them for speaking up. Watch this.
I wanted to come to address the fact that our schools really cannot take on any more students, especially students that don't speak English. Our teachers, our schools are maxed out. Our teachers are at capacity. I was at my son's baseball game when I listened to what you were saying, and I want to remind everyone why we're here. We're here because of a letter that you signed. We're not here because we're incompassionate or we don't have feelings or we don't care about people. And you know what? All I could think of when you were talking is that you are gaslighting every single one of us. So I'm going to read a little piece of the letter that you signed. We continually hear from our constituents that they believe in and support refugee resettlement, from greeting refugee families at the airport to assisting with English language classes or navigating bus lines. Our communities stand welcome. I don't remember you asking anybody that's here how they felt about that. And you signed a letter on behalf of your position representing our city. And that is a huge problem for me. If you're going to sign a letter like that and you represent our city, then you need to ask the constituents how they feel about it. And yeah, Fairhope's probably not going to be inundated, but Foley and Silver Hill and Somerdale, and we've got a lot of communities. And what she was saying about being in a car accident, in December, I was in a terrible car accident with my 2 children and my friend's daughter in the car. And I was hit by an illegal immigrant in Baldwin County that did not receive a ticket, that did not go to jail. He had no car insurance. And I called the police department to ask why. Why, if I were to do that without a driver's license or car insurance, I would have been arrested, my car would have been towed. So they tell me that they can go to the DMV and they can get tags for their vehicle and they can also get car insurance without a driver's license right here in Baldwin County. My son and my daughter and myself were injured in that accident. I had to pay for everything out of my own pocket. And so if you're inviting people here, then they need to follow our laws too, okay? Because we all follow our laws. We pay our taxes, we pay for our car insurance, and they need to do the same. So thank you very much.
Hi, Sue David, 135 D'Estrin Street, Grafton Road. My husband and I, we ran away, literally ran away from Washington, Bellingham. When our house was an elementary school bus stop, I was finding heroin needles. This is a $1 million neighborhood. We lived in a 1,080 square foot, the smallest house in the neighborhood. And I went to the city and I handed them needles. And they said, "It's not our problem. They have rights." I'm sorry. No. Once you open the door, they will come by the thousands. They did in our community. We ran away so fast, our couch did not fit in the truck. My husband took a chainsaw to it so we could get here. We closed during Sally. It is not good. You have to have laws. They have to abide by them. You have no idea what the West Coast is like. No idea. What you see on TV, times it by 20, because that's what you're going to get.
Speak to everyone that hasn't been here before. Just on my background, I have 33 years in law enforcement, 30 years as a special agent with the Drug Enforcement Administration. Now, I'm going to speak on the crime aspect of all this. Is Fairhope Police Department ready for the influx of these people? And I'll equate it. I worked in Maine and New Hampshire and different places. And Maine opened the doors for Somalians to come in. Lewiston and Portland.
Yeah, we were there.
And they have more crime, gangs, violence, And the thing they brought in is a thing called cat, which I'm sure you don't know what it is, but it's a plant that is brought in from Africa that has similar qualities and quantitative as cocaine. Now, my question to you specifically is, Fairhope Police Department ready to handle this? What's the answer on that?
No, we don't have anybody.
You don't have an answer. Thank you.
And boy, it looks like y'all stepped in it, didn't you? One thing I want to say is that I think in order to lower the temperature, as you say, we need a written plan. Put your pen to paper. Get us a written plan. How are you going to handle the schools? How are you going to handle our police department? How are you going to handle shelter for these people? Tell us what you're going to do. Okay, y'all are sitting up here all smug and everything. Tell us what we need to know. And for you to sit there and gaslight these folks, shame on you. And let me tell you why. This is our forum. This is our forum. We come to the city council to hear what's going on. You, Councilman Burrell, I don't know if you're honest.
I was talking about the developer.
It doesn't matter. It's still the same
It was the
principle.
developer.
I don't know if you're honest.
Make sure we get it
I don't
right.
know if you're honest. And you don't know if I'm honest. What I'm telling you is put it to paper and tell us what your plan of action is.
I'm a new resident here from Oregon, and I came here to get away from all that. And let me tell you something, it happens quick and it happens fast. And I'm really glad the folks here came out, even though it wasn't really on the agenda. I had to leave my beautiful West Coast, which I love. And if it wasn't so woke, I would still be there. And I will be damned if I'm going to come down here and let it happen here. Okay? Yeah. So you guys are all on guard now, because all of us don't want this to happen here. And yes, you do need to put in a plan in if the federal government does decide to bring people here. We have to have a plan. We can't just let people just come into this community. I came from a very small town of 10,000 people, and let me tell you, the homeless came in like in droves, because they legalized drugs in 2020. We had everybody bringing their drug people to Oregon, okay? We were inundated. I mean, the healthcare alone is so terrible now. And Oregon, California, Washington, I'm originally from California. I'm from San Francisco. I know all about Kamal Harris, I can tell you a lot. It puts a big, big burden not only on education, but on our medical system as well. The medical on the West Coast is just terrible. You're waiting months and months and months because we have so many immigrants. Now, the program that they're talking about, they're making these people legal. So it's not that they're illegal. It's just that you can't just bring thousands of people into a community and expect a community just to be able to absorb that. So we really do have to it's nothing about being, heartless, nothing about that. It's just simple economics, first and foremost. But we really do have to have a game plan, and we really need to figure out one soon. You guys don't want to end up where I just came from. Trust me. Thank you.
This will be just quick. So, as one of the ladies mentioned before, the reason we're here and all this uproar is because of the letter you signed. Jack said that the city council, none of y'all met about it and all that stuff. That's great, I understand, stand that. However, when you wrote it, you were a city councilman. You are now the president of the city council. And I would request that you write another letter and rescind your position and specifically state that you do not represent the city of Fairhope on this position, because I don't know how it all works, but it seems pretty reasonable and logical to me that no one wants the refugees in their town, not in my backyard. So when the Biden administration, the federal government, which is out of y'all's control, you've already stated, says, where can we send these? Oh, well, there's a city council member in Fairhope who is supporting this. Why don't we send them there? So I'm requesting that you sign another letter to rescind your position as a city council on that, please.
I came here like all of these good citizens doing their civic duty, and that is to come to these meetings whenever they have an issue, whether they know it's factual or not. Now, sitting here tonight, I've heard a couple of things from several of the members up here that we were kind of made fun of because we bought into a hoax or given information. Well, we were. That's how I felt. Okay, now and I was also preached to. Okay, I've got plenty of compassion. I've got as much as you do. Okay, my heart is good. I know it's good. Okay, and we like people to come here legally. Okay, but you know what's going on in Spring Hill, Ohio. Okay, there's 20,000 people up there that Spring Hill residents didn't buy into. Okay, and we're here, I think, most of us, because we don't want that to happen here. That's right. I'd love to have lunch with you if you want to go, we can have a discussion back and forth. Because again, my heart's good.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I
but
believe
don't make that fun of these people for
I
being
was
here.
making fun of me.
Sir?
I was more making fun of me.
Well, but that's how you
Computer
came.
literacy.
I wasn't the only one, okay? And I'm just, sometimes you need to hear how you're coming across to your folks out here, okay? And we're here wanting to make sure that our community stays good and safe. Fentanyl's killing too damn many people, okay? And people are getting, crimes out of it, okay? That's why I'm here, okay? Thank you for the time.
Words, we've heard them. Actions. Actions. A man is known by his deeds. I think I can speak for everyone because we've seen what's gone on in communities all over this great state of ours. Enterprise Mayor William Cooper on Haitian migrant influx. Our services are strained. Did he ask? Did he send a letter to the Biden administration saying, hey, baby, I'm on board? They're human trafficking. Enterprise residents sound the alarm on impact of illegal immigration in Coffee County. Did they ask for it? No, but you did. It's hurting us. Sylacauga residents voice opposition opinions on Haitian resettlement during contentious city council meeting. Did the residents of that city ask for it? No. Who knows what else those residents asked for? Did they address the books? Did their city council address it? I don't know. All I know is what I've experienced here. And from you all who say you want to communicate, we get nothing.
Thank you, sir.
Have a blessed day.
Looks like the last 2 years, we've been here fighting the books, drag brunches, all this other stuff going on. And all of a sudden, we hit a hot button. And look at the crowd. All I have to say to all of you, including you, Mayor, is you have awakened the sleeping giant. And I want to put you all on notice. If you don't start doing your job, you will all be out next year. Thank you.
I'm not here to beat a dead horse, but my family's been through a lot the last couple of years, and I just wanted to share a little something as it relates to tonight. I'm a Baldwin County resident. My mother-in-law was recently killed in a tragic automobile accident in Grand Rapids, Michigan. This was in June 2022. She was not distracted. She was not on her phone. She was driving under the speed limit, seatbelt buckled, several car distances away, most likely with her hands at 10 and 2. She was as cautious and careful and law-abiding as they come. Born and raised in that area, she served at the local school for over 20 years, volunteered relentlessly at her church. She loved her community dearly and devoted her life to it in many ways. As she drove to pick up cabinet hardware to complete the dream kitchen she had worked on and waited 25 years for, her car rapidly approached a vehicle in front of her on US 131. She slowed and brought her vehicle to a complete stop as she realized that car in front of her was actually in reverse on the interstate. Though she saw him, though she controlled her own vehicle, another vehicle behind her didn't have the time or luxury of stopping. This woman was 37 years old in the car behind her. My mother-in-law was hit from the rear at full speed of 77 miles per hour by another innocent woman. Then her car imploded into the driver in front. They were both killed in the accident. Both Christians, both community servants, one a teacher, one a nurse, one single mother of 2 young children, now being raised without parents. The driver of the initial vehicle, in reverse, was a Haitian immigrant named Antoine Azard. He was the only driver that day to survive. He didn't speak English, so at the scene of the crime, there were dozens of police officers, state and local. He couldn't speak English to describe the account of the accident. It's taken 2.5 years for the trial. He was finally charged with 2 counts of reckless driving causing death. It's not fun to be here. It seems slightly terrifying to be here, to highlight our thoughts in a space of contentious debate and place ourselves on the chopping block of public conversation and strong opinion, especially in a small town like Fairhope. But as I grow older and my children grow older, I start to recognize the politics and policies around the world and how it affects everything around us. I feel it's more than wrong to sit back and complain rather than to rise up and speak out. I'm a mother, a Christian. I'm not racist or uncompassionate. I'm not a bigot. And I'm certainly not an pretentious, entitled elite. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I seek to be compassionate and caring and understanding. I seek to live a life that honors God and honors others, that loves others, that gives and cares too for others. I'm also a mom of 5 daughters. If my desire to help others endangered my own children by removing the locks on my doors and welcoming handfuls of young men, would that be the right thing to do in the name of compassion? Regardless of where they came from or how wonderful they were, my responsibility as a mother requires and demands my care and compassion first to protect my own. It would be neglectful and even abusive if I put the care of my own girls aside to accommodate the care of others. As tragic as my family's story is, I'm not here tonight to talk about Haitians or even immigration. I'm here to highlight what seems to be a growing concern for many of the citizens of this community and many across the country as a whole. The real issue I see brewing tonight isn't just about Fairhope or Baldwin County. It's about leadership across this country, even in tiny communities like this one, seemingly usurping the will of the people, the very people in which they were appointed to represent. The issue at hand tonight has struck a chord, as you can see. Not because people are rude or selfish or self-serving or closed-minded. It's not because they lean left or right, aren't loving, kind, or generous. A large portion is because somehow things like this seem to slip through, leaving the citizens concerned and confused as to how they weren't made aware. They weren't made a part of the discussion. That type of power and override is what this community, many who are here tonight and many who aren't, feeling like we are under the overarching rule of control rather than a community of information, understanding, and democracy. I'm not an expert on any of this, just a concerned mom, concerned resident, grieving daughter-in-law, who sees the issues and inefficiencies around our area, ill-equipped for rapid growth and development, the struggling who are already in front of us. I also see the beauty and blessings of this community, beautiful community. My prayer tonight is that we can come together and realize that we do not need to be pitted against each other, but should strive to come together in understanding and wisdom to handle the issues around us and ensure that we aren't standing on some ambiguous moral high horse, screaming back and forth in debate, before we ensure that the compassion that we hold for others is given to those already in front of us.
What a mess, man. Anyway, in my humble opinion, Democrats are looking for new voters. That's it. That's what I think. This is happening because Democrats believe that once these millions of migrants receive their citizenship, they'll return the favors by voting for the people who helped them to get here. That's it. You let me know what you think about this in the comment section. God bless you and your family. Catch you on the next one. Trump 2024.